Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, good morning. It's the weekend, bitches. Happy Friday. Welcome to J is for Justice. I am your host, Jay. Welcome to my channel. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing to it and giving a thumbs up. So, good morning, Mike Sanner, coming in hot with his wrench. This morning he says, good morning all. Jay is busy making impossible stuff look easy. Stand by. No, it's not easy. It doesn't look easy. What looks easy? Look at Summer's butt. Summer says, happy Friday. I think my mic sounds a little low. Is it all right with you guys? Let's see who else we've got here before we begin. We're going to be talking about Bryan Kohberger's neighbors, and then we're going to see what you guys think about what they've said. Hey, Mark Klein. Hey, Olive. Good morning. It's so weird. Hello, Marie and Crystal and Yvonne T and Becky S. Sandra, good morning. Mark Klein is golfing and drinking beer, looks like. For the record, Your Honor, good morning. Leslie, good morning. Potato. Thank you for coming in, Potato. Potato's here with our wrench. Look out. Emma Dilemma, hello. It is a good Friday morning, so I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I am going to be spending some time. I'm going to go, I think, to a festival tomorrow, like a food truck festival. So maybe I'll get some pictures of the yummy food, the concoctions that I see. All right, let's get into today's stream. We're going to be talking about Bryan Kohberger's neighbors, talking about it, and we're going to see what we think. Because I think this one guy hung out with him more than we think. So let's take a look. Let's go over to the boob tube. Welcome to the boob tube. We are taking a step back to 1982 in our boob tube room. And we've got our top donators down at the bottom. We've got our jar up for the weekend because it is the freaking weekend. So, yeah, get your name on the board. Let's fill up that tip jar for the weekend. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. We're going to play it all the way through like we usually do, and then we will talk about it. Hello, Mary P. Hello, Caroline and Lucia. Nerd. Y'all are muted. I got y'all muted. I got y'all muted. I'm all dancing to my intro, and I've got you muted. For the love of what's holy. Hello, Jamie Rosberg. Welcome to the live. Glad you made it as well. Now you can hear. Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. That's better.
People are just having a hard time wrapping their mind around the fact that 4 people were stabbed, and this person, able to stab 4 people with 2 roommates in the house and get away and still be running free now.
We know you have questions.
And so do we. That's why we're here.
It's crazy because like literally like days after these murders happened, he brought it up when I saw him in the hallway. He was like, "Oh, did you hear about these murders that happened?" Was that they had no leads and they think it was a crime of passion.
This is the neighbor of Bryan Kohberger. He was on News Nation, and this clip was actually replayed on March 16th. But while they were talking about what was at the bottom of this text message, I was looking at what was at the top. So the green is obviously the neighbor, and Bryan is the gray. And if you look at the very top, it says, "Hey, you want to go to Etsy?" It looks to me like ETSI. I'm about to head over there right now. And no reply from Bryan. So I don't know if he ended up going to Etsy with the neighbor. But what is Etsy? Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, what happened to my music? See, Mike, I don't make it look that easy, do I? We lost our music? What the heck? But this is Etsy right here, guys. This is a little bar, like a cocktail bar there in Pullman. But since we lost our music, I'll pause here. It's called Etsy Bravo, and it's like a upscale lounge. They have like high-end appetizers and drinks. And his neighbor said, "Hey, I'm going up to Etsy right now. You want to go with?" And then when I go to the Google Street View of September of 2022, I see a white truck. So I'm wondering if Bryan didn't ride with this dude places. Perhaps Bryan would find out that one of the girls was going to be at the Corner Club via social media, right? Everything was on social media. The girls are going to the Corner Club, or the girls are at the Corner Club. "Hey, dude, you want to go to the Corner Club?" "Yeah, man, I'll drive." Something like that. Or "Can you drive?" Something along those lines to where the other vehicle would be there as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's far-fetched, but nonetheless, Etsy is a bar in Pullman. And I don't know if they went there together or not, because Bryan didn't respond to the text in the screenshot. So this is Etsy's website right here. Here we go. Our music's back. Woohoo! All right, there's more, guys.
Was nice to Kohberger. You know, he talked to him, tried to take him under his wing, but it was Martinez's wife that always felt something was strange. He described what his wife called a death stare, that Kohberger would just kind of look at you and maybe even try to analyze you a little bit. And so oftentimes when Chris would say, hey, I'm going to invite Bryan, she would say, please don't. She kind of felt uncomfortable around him. So it was later the hindsight that really made them realize, okay, maybe his wife was picking up on something that Kohberger was putting out there.
That's crazy because like literally like days after these murders happened, he brought it up when I saw him in the hallway. He was like, oh, did you hear about these murders that happened? And it was like so short after they actually happened, like there were barely any news articles out. So there wasn't much that I could have like read. So I was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, of course I've heard about him. And he was like, yeah, it seems like they don't have any leads. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's not much about it, you know, there's nothing, I have no details really to say. But yeah, and then he's like, yeah, it seems like they think it was a crime of passion. Those were the two things he said, was that they had no leads and they think it was a crime of passion.
He mainly just stood to the side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he, knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike. It was really weird how he approached me and the people that I was with, because he acted kind of like we were...
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I see a lot of you saying that's not Kohberger, that's not Kohberger. This is Kohberger, okay? This is Kohberger changing the way he looks. This is a photo that was put out in the media, guys. Except it was way zoomed out. Okay? Could have been doctored a little bit. I don't know what is going on. I think that maybe the FBI manipulates shit. I don't know, guys. But this was a picture that was put out in the New York Times. And it was way zoomed out. And when I zoomed in, I saw this. Now look at the haircut. The haircut looks like one of the cops' haircuts. And if you think back to Ted Bundy used many different looks and disguises. He's got a haircut with that part defined on the side. Just like Officer Smith. Officer Smith was the first one on the scene. Did Bryan Kohberger change into dark clothing, looking like a cop with this haircut that he got? Remember, the lady said he called for a haircut. Remember the voicemail? We all heard it. We all heard it. Oh, I think it looks just like him. How can you not see it? The nose, the eyes. But if you don't believe that it's him, that's fine. But I believe 100% this is him, and I think he used different looks, just like Bundy did. And we're going to go back through, we're going to analyze these interviews better. Let's listen to the last 4 minutes.
Best friends, or it was like a reunion or something, and he was really excited to see us, and I had no idea really who he was right at that second. He mainly just stood to the side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike. It was really weird how he approached me and the people that I was with.
He didn't have a lot of friends, but the people that I spoke to in Washington said over and over, he was analyzing people, kind of taking mental notes. So it seemed, so that man right there that we just heard from Zach Cartwright, he didn't even remember Bryan Kohberger when he saw him again, but Kohberger knew exactly who he was. So I don't know if you can necessarily say that's calculated, but we can likely say that Kohberger was taking mental notes about people and keeping tabs on them.
We're asked not to be identified.
He brought it up in conversation, asked if I had heard about the murders, and which I did, and then he said, yeah, it seems like they have no leads. It seems like it was a crime of passion. At the time of our conversation, it was only like, a few days after it had happened, so there wasn't much details out. I try to remember everything that I can, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
In an exclusive interview, one of Bryan Kohberger's neighbors in Pullman, Washington, told us the suspected killer spoke to him about the murders. The neighbor asked not to be identified.
He brought it up in conversation, asked if I had heard about the murders, and which I did, and then he said, yeah, it seems like they have no leads. It seems like it was a crime of passion.
In one previous conversation, he said Kohberger asked him if he'd be able to kill someone as a member of the military. Another time, the neighbor told us he'd mentioned watching Netflix's drama series about Jeffrey Dahmer, allegedly prompting Kohberger to share how rare serial killers are.
He had a very kind and good side to him.
We also spoke to another neighbor of Kohberger's who said they talked to each other about their grad school research. Kohberger was pursuing a PhD in criminology.
He mentioned he likes to study about the role of police, and he, I think, told me that he wants to work with them.
Did you realize when you heard about the arrest it was him? Gosh, what was that like for you?
Yes, I and my family very shocked. Yeah, especially my wife. At that time, she was not very, she not sleep very well. Yeah, she's worried about it.
If you notice, they have Bibles. They're reading Bibles. So I don't know if this is like some kind of Catholic thing he got involved with for some reason, but clearly it looks like they're reading Bibles. And he's giving them like a death stare. Like, what is that?
Yeah,
oh, by the way, this is the UI Commons. This is at University of Idaho Commons. No, he cut the curls off. You guys can't tell that his hair is short and obviously styled different. Okay. You know what? No, it's more likely that these guys he's with are also informants that are drug dealers, and they're all concocting their plan for the 13th of November. That's what's going on in this picture right now.
My wife, at that time, she was not very, she not sleep very well. Yeah, she's worried about it. He is unrest.
Did you ever go up and ask him what he's doing at midnight, or?
Sometimes we go, and I'm here. Sometimes the voice in front of us, we wake up, and sometimes my wife wants go outside to knock the door, but I stopped.
She never did.
She never.
All right, so those are the interviews with the neighbors. So I guess it's more likely that Bryan Kohberger is an informant, and other people did this, and he's just there to be the center guy. He's the hero. He's the hero. Because Bryan Kohberger's Catholic, that's why. He has a Catholic priest coming to visit him, right? That's what was reported, that he is practicing his Catholic religion. That's why I said that. How do you know he didn't use a straightener? How do you know that he didn't? We don't know, but we do know he got a haircut. So you guys can put together what you want. I'm not here to convince you either way. I'm just here to show you what's out there. And this is what's out there. And it's out there for a reason. The New York Times didn't just post this random picture of 3 people sitting in the UI Commons from a distance just because. Like, you have to use your common sense at some point. Here's the original photo. Okay. And that's zoomed in. It was way, way, way far out than that even. Okay. It showed the whole freaking building. And you're going to tell me that was just randomly put out because there's 3 dudes sitting there drinking coffee. Just for the hell of it. The New York Times thought that would be interesting content.
Okay.
Because that's what they do. That's what journalists do. They just take rando pictures that mean absolutely nothing and put them in their publications for a highly profiled case. Okay. Sounds like a plan, Stan.
But it was Martinez's wife that always felt something was strange. He described what his wife called a death stare, that Kohberger would just kind of look at you and maybe even try to analyze you a little bit. And so oftentimes when Chris would say, hey, I'm going to invite Bryan, she would say, please don't. She kind of felt uncomfortable around him. So it was later the hindsight.
Okay. So his wife, the neighbor, felt bad for this dude. And we heard early on that Bryan's dad said, he doesn't have any friends if you could hang out with him. So his dad says, oh, he needs friends. So this guy feels bad for him and wants to like invite him places. And so he does. So we know they hung out. And there were times when he wanted to invite Bryan out of pity. Pity. This guy played the pity card. Okay? He played the pity card, and this dude felt bad for him because he was an outcast. And his wife was like, no. He's got a death stare, and he creeps me out. So it just so happens that the big drug informant has a death stare. Gotcha.
It really made them realize, okay, maybe his wife was picking up on something that Kohberger was putting out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because when his hair is curly, it's crazy. He looks like Adam. When his hair is curly and longer, he looks like Adam. But when his hair's cut short and tight, he looks like Officer Smith a little bit. Interesting.
Literally, like days after these murders happened, he brought it up when I saw him in the hallway. He was like, oh, did you hear about these murders that happened? And it was like so short after they actually happened, like there were barely any news articles out. So there wasn't much that I could have like read. So I was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, of course I've heard about him. He was like, yeah, it seems like they don't have any leads. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's not much about it, you know, there's nothing, I have no details really to say. But yeah, and then he's like, yeah, it seems like they think it was a crime of passion. Those were the two things he said, was that they had no leads and they think it was a crime of passion.
Okay, so here, we've got to listen to this again and take into consideration. It's a crime of passion. Why would he say that? Why would he say it's a crime of passion? That was never mentioned. They have no leads and it's a crime of passion. A crime of passion would mean like an ex or someone intimate killed them. So in my opinion, I feel like he's trying to maybe pin it on, you know, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend. Nothing to be confused about. We're just listening to the neighbors' interviews. They're pretty straightforward.
He mainly just stood to the side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he, you know, knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike. It was really weird how he approached me and the people that I was with, because he acted kind of like we were best friends, or it was like a reunion or something, and he was really excited to see us.
Yeah, that's really, really pitiful. This guy didn't even remember BK, and BK was like, hey, like he was his best friend. I want to know whose pool party they went to. Whose pool party were they at?
Idea really who he was right at that second. He mainly just stood to the side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he, you know, knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike.
Hike. So this dude was on a hike and ran into BK. How do you run into someone on a hike unless he followed him. Unless he followed him. This is a guy he went to a pool party with. And then he saw him on a hike. Creep town, dude. Let's listen to that part again. This is a guy that he went to a pool party with.
Side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike. It was really weird how he approached me and the people that I was with, because he acted kind of like we were best friends, or it was like a reunion or something, and he was really excited to see us, and I had no idea really who he was right at that second.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. A lot of the people that I spoke with said the same thing over and over. Kohberger was a loner. He didn't have a lot of friends. But the people that
Okay, the same people said over and over, he was a loner. He didn't have a lot of friends. I mean, why do you deny these reports of what his neighbors say? These are people that ran into him, probably on the daily. You heard the Asian guy. He's like, my wife got woken up by his ass in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. And she wanted to go knock on his door, and he didn't let her. Thank God. God knows what bears she would have poked. Or what she would have seen. Yikes. I would think with his education, he would be smarter than that, Mary P. I don't think that he's like us. I've never had criminology experience, so I may make a mistake and say that, but he said specifically that the cops said it was a crime of passion and they have no leads.
spoke to in Washington said over and over he was analyzing people, kind of taking mental notes. So it seemed so that man right there that we just heard from Zach Cartwright, he didn't even remember Bryan Kohberger when he saw him again, but Kohberger knew exactly who he was. So I don't know if you can necessarily say that's calculated, but we can likely say that Kohberger was taking mental notes about people and keeping tabs on them.
We're asked not to be identified.
He brought it up.
So this is one thing that I wanted to point out, though. As far as journalism goes, you guys can't really discount this guy because this is more than one news outlet. Now, initially, he went on News Nation, I think, first, and they put his whole name out there on the screen and everything. And then I noticed when I saw him on NBC and on CBS, he said that he didn't want to be identified. So I just wanted to make note of that some journalists respect that, some don't.
People and keeping tabs on them.
We're asked not to be identified.
He brought it up in conversation, asked if I had heard about the murders, and which I did, and then he said, yeah, it seems like they have no leads.
Seems
like it was a crime of passion. At the time of our conversation, it was only like,
okay, so
days.
here he says it seems like they have no leads, and it seems like it was a crime of passion.
After it had happened, so there wasn't much details out. I try to remember everything that I can, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
In an exclusive interview, one of Bryan Kohberger's neighbors in Pullman, Washington, told us the suspected killer spoke to him.
Okay, see how his hair's not curly when it's short by his ears? And I get his ears look different in that picture. I can't explain it. I just can't. I don't know if there's someone that looks like him, but that picture was put out there on purpose. And that's why I highlighted it. There's a reason why things are strategically put out. If you guys don't believe that the media works with law enforcement, especially with everything being online and social media and everything like that, if you don't think that they work with certain media outlets, you're surely mistaken, because they've done that since the beginning of time, especially if they're trying to catch what might be a serial killer or something to that magnitude. They're going to utilize any resources they can, and they're also going to utilize resources we never thought of now because of the online presence and the social media presence. People aren't buying papers anymore. So take with that what you will, but I really do think that there's new techniques that they use. I think that the FBI does manipulate photos and put them in the press for certain reasons. What those reasons are, I don't know. I'm not privy to the inside scoop, but I can tell you that they do put out clues and shit. Maybe the media put that pic out to show how BK changes up his looks depending on his socialization. Or maybe they put that out so somebody would say, oh my God, I saw that guy. Like, oh, I think I saw that guy. They did not say it was him. They did not say it was him. So let's put that baby to bed. They didn't say it was him. I zoomed in on the picture and I was like, oh, wow, that looks like Bryan Kohberger. I just don't know how many people are out there that look like him with that same look. And I think that he can change his looks. I do. Ted Bundy did it. That broken nose. How do we know when that nose was broke? We don't. We do not know. And they do different things. You know, there's yesterday's live is there's so much in that interview with that FBI profiler that you have to listen to it, and you really have to listen. I've never heard any sheriff come out on this case at all loaded hot. Sheriff who? Grady Judd? Who's the what sheriff? Lata? But you just have to remember that, especially before he was caught, there were things put out strategically.
About the murders, the neighbor asked not to be identified.
He brought it up in conversation.
Okay, so let me just fill you guys in on something. Kohberger obviously followed the Daybell case and how that went down in Idaho. We know that from the motions because they're quoting the Daybell case, right? So he's aware of Daybell case. And if you remember in the very beginning, and you may not remember if you didn't follow it from the beginning, but I remember when they said that the bodies were found, the Rexburg mayor did an interview with the press prematurely. And the Rexburg mayor confirmed that it was JJ and Tylee. Okay. JJ and Tylee, he confirmed it, and it was like, oh, did the Rexburg mayor just do that? So then we have the Moscow mayor come out and say it was a crime of passion. You have to think about these things. You know, this isn't just about this case. These investigators investigate other cases, and they see what happens in other cases. We don't know what went down when the Rexburg mayor came out and said that was JJ and Tylee. What did all those cult members do when that happened? I don't know, but investigators might. I don't know why things are done the way they are. I can't explain it, but I have to think that there's some kind of a method when you see things repeated, right? So maybe the Rexburg mayor saying that was JJ and Tylee triggered Lori and Chad to do something, or triggered Alex Cox to do something. I don't know. But don't you think it's a little odd that it's the same state, cases being noted? I don't know. I have a hard time believing that mayors can be that sloppy, right? Not one, but two in the same vicinity, because that's sloppy. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. It comes across as very crass, and I just don't believe they would be crass about 2 children and then about 4 young adults. I just don't. I think they'd be extra careful like everybody else was being. But hey, that's just me. That's called the benefit of the doubt.
If I had heard about the murders, and which I did, and then he said, yeah, it seems like they have no leads. It seems like it was a crime of passion.
In one previous conversation, he said Kohberger asked him if he'd be able to kill someone as a member of the military.
He asked if he'd be able to kill someone as a member of the military. Yeah, I just hung around with frat guys, and, if you were gonna kill someone, how would you do it? Is what they asked me. He was trying to pin it on frat guys, the ex-boyfriend, Adam, the cops, and you guys all bought it hook, line, and sinker. Why do you think that he's got his defense team monitoring YouTube thumbnails? Why do you think he's got his defense team monitoring all this shit? Because all the idiots on YouTube that are giving him like ideas, you're giving him ideas of a defense, because all of us out here are potential jury pool. Like, we would be like the opinion of a jury. And you guys are just, I'm not saying you guys, but people on YouTube are making shit up. Like, I saw a thumbnail that said tissue found at the crime scene. Tissue in the thumbnail? I was like, sick.
God almighty.
But be careful with, if you're a creator, be careful with what you put out there. Let them do their jobs. Let them investigate. If you think he's innocent, let Ann Taylor do her job. She don't need us. See, that's the problem. Y'all got creators convincing you that Ann Taylor needs creators to defend her client. No, she doesn't. No, she's got a professional investigator. Remember? The dude filed the motion. Remember the dude filed the motion in Nevada, Washoe County? Yeah. She's got an investigator. Let her investigator exonerate him. Because I'm sorry, people that are going to be exonerated don't sit in jail for 8 months. They show their shiz and they get out. He's waiting to see what angle he's going to take. What defense am I going to use? Oh, drug cartel. There we go. I don't know, man. That's messed up. I don't think Ann Taylor can stand to be in his presence either. Could you? He looks at her like he wants to eat her alive. And I'm not joking. He does. If someone looked at me like that, I'd be like, holy, I don't want to look at your eyes again, son.
The neighbor told us he'd mentioned watching Netflix's drama series about Jeffrey Dahmer, allegedly prompting Kohberger to share how rare serial killers are.
He had a very kind and good side to him.
We also spoke to another neighbor of Kohberger's who said they talked to each other about their grad school research. Kohberger was pursuing a PhD in criminology.
He mentioned he likes to study about the role of police, and he, I think, told me that he wants to work with them.
He wants to work with the police.
Okay.
This shit ain't happening. He wanted to be a cop, and he couldn't. Oh my God. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look-see-see. Let's take a look-see-see. Oh, I love you people. My tip jar's empty though, man. I'm feeling a little sad about that. Feeling a little sad about that. All right. Check this out. That's not him. Oh my God. The ear looks smaller. Oh my God. It can't be him. If that's not him, that's his fucking twin. If Bryan Kohberger has a twin, make yourself known, because he's got a fucking twin. I can't explain the ear, but I'm telling you, there's no way that there's someone sitting in the UI Commons that ends up, okay, that ends up in the media. He just ends up in this rando picture, and he looks like Bryan. I can't make sense of it. You just sent me an email tip. All right. I like email tips. Now, if he changed his looks in some way, I don't know. Ted Bundy did a lot of crazy shiz too. But you can't deny. I mean, look at the hairline. It's just not curly. It's the angle. Yeah, it's the angle, I think. I think you're right. It's the angle of the photo. But if you look at the mouth, you look at the nose, he's obviously he's looking down and then looking up with his eyeballs. He's not in the same angle. But I can't sit here and convince people of something that is so starkly obvious. I just can't. Oh, shit.
Sure.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what this guy did, but he did something. Unless it's fake, I don't know. Is it a mirror image? Look at his part. The lobe is different. BK's is longer. Could have been an old pic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they put things out the way they did. No clue. Maybe it is an old picture that they dredged up and put in there to show him, hey, we know who you are. I don't know. Lori B. Coxey. Cute. Lori. So I don't know, you guys. All right, let's keep listening to the rest of the interview.
Did you realize when you heard?
Yeah, he got a bump when his nose got broken. We don't know when his nose got broke.
About the arrest, it was him. Gosh, what was that like for you?
Yes, I and my family very shocked.
Yeah.
Especially my wife. At that time, she was not very, could not sleep very well. Yeah, she's worried about it. He is unrest.
Did you ever go up and ask him what he's doing at midnight, or?
Sometimes and I'm here. Sometimes they made a noise in bother us. We wake up, and sometimes my wife wants go outside to knock the door, but I stopped.
Thank God she didn't. Thank God she didn't. That's a scary thought. How about this picture, guys? Here's Officer Smith being sworn in at the Moscow Police Department. And I know it's a little blurry because I can't find any of these online, but here's another one. Oh, this one's much better. This one's much better, guys. I think he was trying to pin it on this dude. Check it out. Check this out. This is Officer Smith. This is Officer Smith of Moscow Police. So, yes, he has bushy eyebrows. Yes. He kind of has a longer head like BK. Right? And he's got that short, tight cut. So, I don't know, man. Did BK have beef with this guy? I don't know. But this guy was working desk duty on the night of the murders, okay? This dude was at the desk, according to Howard Blum's reports. So, according to Howard Blum's reports, this guy was at the desk, right? And he got the call. And he went over there. I don't know when he started. I can't find it. This is just Google Images. I can't find it on their site anymore. Let's see if I can find another one. Here. Oh wait, I think I got it. Corbin Smith. Okay, here we go. I got it right here on Facebook. August 18th, 2020, he started. August 18th, 2020. So let's go here. I'm going to show you this article. Or this thing on Facebook. So Let's see. Moscow police would like to welcome its newest patrol officer, Corbin Smith. These are photos from his swearing-in ceremony, which was held in the city council chambers on Wednesday, August 12th. Officer Smith is a recent graduate from the University of Idaho, earning a bachelor's degree in geology. Prior to attending the University of Idaho, Smith served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps and 2 years as a volunteer with the Moscow Volunteer Fire Department. Please wish him good luck in his future career with the Moscow Police Department and serving our community. And this is in 2020. And then here is some photos. Oh, that one's clear. Okay, so here is him getting sworn in. I don't think he's on the Brady Giglio, though, is he? Corbin Smith? I think that was Nunez and Bragg. So then here is Barrett, and then Smith is in the middle, and then some other guy. I don't know his name. But this is Smith in the middle with a mask. He could be BK. Let's face it. Let's face facts. With the mask on, same almost. Tight haircut, you come in. Don't worry, I'm going to help you. Acting like a cop. Ted Bundy also impersonated a cop. Did you know that? Did you? That's the only 2 picks from that. Let's see the comments. Let's look at all the comments. Hello all, we'll get a photo of Officer Smith without his mask ASAP. 2 years ago. Just don't be a jerk when you pull me over. You have a badge, but that doesn't give you a reason to be a jerk. Who is this new masked officer? How do we even know what he looks like? Isn't it possible to go outdoors to snap a picture of people without their masks on? Just asking. Why doesn't the police department have its own page for this? I don't know what that means. I would have liked to see all of his face. McKenna Nunez. Officer Smith is a wonderful person and will do great things for the city. Go MPD. Janice Cole said, I would have liked to see his face. And Jennifer said, yes. How do we even know who he is without seeing his face? Yeah, I think people were annoyed that they were still wearing masks. But that is Officer Smith. And, you know, with the mask on, I think he kind of looks like Kohberger. Creep burglar. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, who's this? I was looking to see if there's more pictures of Smith without a mask. Look at all these cops. It's like, I don't even think half of them even work there anymore. If Smith had one Brady Giglio issue, insane that he was not assigned this case, he never made sense why they let it sit 4 hours waiting for Payne to get back in town. I never heard Payne was out of town. I heard Fry was out of town. I don't know how anybody knows what Payne's travel plans were that weekend. I haven't heard that. But what I was going to say is this. Couple thoughts. If BK impersonated a cop, let's just put a strategy out there that he impersonated a cop at some point, and that was why he bought the dark Dickies clothes, blah, blah, blah. And that he did that, and he said, don't worry, I'm going to help you. And he came in as if he was the cops and was there for a while. I mean, I don't know what this dude did. I have no idea. But I think that he had a lot of time and planned this for a very long time. Because something like this doesn't just confuse us because it was a spur of the moment crime of passion. You know what I mean? This is all confusing. A, because there's a gag order, but B, because I think there's more. I just think there's more that we're just not getting yet. And I think there's been a lot of clues out there to say they have a lot. So I don't know why everybody denies that they think they have a lot. I guess there's always going to be drama with all these cases. Tammy, like, come on, he didn't do that. Did I just say I was making up a theory? Oh, Tammy Lynn.
KB, it's we have to stand down.
Oh, let me check, Mary. Yeah. All right, we're going to check this about the scarf from yesterday's picture, if you guys did not see that. I mean, look at this dude. He really looks similar in a lot of ways. He doesn't have the big schnoz, though. Doesn't have a big schnoz. Let's try to pull up that picture for you guys, too. Oh, here. I wanted to show you guys this again, too. Oh, and I wanted to mention, too, I put that video out yesterday of the insurance certificate, and I want to thank you guys who commented and said, you know, that insurance company covers a lot of different states, not just, like, it's kind of like USAA, you know? Because I was like, why does he have a California certificate? But I wanted to bring this up again. And see what you guys thought about the Corner Club picture. If you had any different thoughts. I was looking to try to figure out the doors in this joint. And man, there's a few doors in the Corner Club. Here is another photo from the Corner Club. And then I'm going to read your email, Mary. Check this out. Okay. This was also taken by, I believe it was the New York Times, of the inside of the Corner Club empty. Hang on. I need more coffee. I haven't had enough coffee this morning. I don't know if that's the same door back there. Because I don't really see an exit sign above that door, but I was just curious. Thought it was interesting. All right, let me check my emails real quick. Aw, Tracy, thank you for your PayPal donation. I appreciate you. You guys, if you want to donate and you put it and you use the link, it will come up on the screen. Interesting, Mary. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. I've got one more thing to show, guys. Excuse me. Yeah, that's really interesting. Tammy Lynn, I appreciate you. The hall light must have been on. You think so? The good vibe sign was pretty bright, though. The good vibe sign is pretty bright. I tried. It's not letting me. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. You shouldn't be doing anything wrong, Flo. It's pretty straightforward. And also, Robin, since you're here, hello, Robin. I wanted to let you know that you can go to... Here, check this out. I just put the thing. Go there to J for J 411 Live, Robin. And if you go up to... And this is for all moderators. Here, I'm going to show you the screen. We're going to do a little tutorial real quick. Real quick tutorial. I can find my screen. Okay. On the tip page, it's more than just the tip page, guys. So if you go here, see, this is what's cool about it. If you go to that link, you don't even have to leave the stream. Your stream will still play there, and you have your chat on the right side. See that? Right? And then up here, where it says all these different things, you can go to tip. You can go to merch, which I don't have anything in there yet, except for that. I have a couple things in there. And then you can go to CloudBot. And this is what I was talking about, Robin. This is going to be where all the commands are for the chat. So all of that, it's like an all-in-one CloudBot, and then you can go here, you can tip here, you can still play the stream. I think it's pretty cool, actually. And then down here, it gives you, see that? See, you can go over here. And then up here, you can do like monthly, where it says all these different things. You can go to tip. Cool. I think it's pretty cool. And then it says down here who's donated, who's the... Then you can go to Twitter, you can go to Facebook from here. It's pretty cool, actually. If you think about it. It's just different, you guys, it's just something different. I know that, YouTube makes it all a big complete package, but they do that because they're also getting 45% of what every creator makes. They get 45% of ads, they get 45% of super chats, and they get 45% of memberships. That's a fuck of a lot of money. Oh, I think the good vibes sign lit up Bryan's face, Dylan to see, but slightly blinded Bryan from seeing Dylan. But wouldn't the sign have been behind him, where he would have seen her, unless something was on in the kitchen too? When they said it looked like a crime of passion, is that why they felt the community was safe? I don't think they ever felt the community was safe, because you got to remember they had the knife attack in September. I think these guys knew. I think they knew. Flo, you know what? If you're on are you on a phone? If you go to your browser, if you have Safari, just type in www.j4j and then 411.live. If clicking on it takes you out of everything, just manually, I guess. I don't know. Oh, the string lights. I think he was kind of in shock of what he did is why he missed Dylan. He was in tunnel vision and getting out. Mike, I agree. I think that I think it got messier than he had planned on. I don't think he planned on fighting anyone. And that's what went wrong. Let's watch this about the grand jury stuff.
Bryan Kohberger, the man suspected of killing 4 University of Idaho students, is requesting a stay of proceedings and the release of grand jury materials. This means he is asking the court to stop proceedings temporarily, and he argues he needs to review the grand jury material to try to contest the indictment.
Now, why? And this is another thing that I have to bring to everybody's attention. Why would a man who initially said he couldn't wait to get back to Idaho to be exonerated, why all of a sudden is he challenging the indictment? Bring your alibi, dude. If you can be exonerated, which is bullshit, if you can be exonerated, why would you be doing this? Why would you mess with challenging anything? You would bring your solid alibi and get exonerated. You wouldn't be messing with it. You wouldn't mess with challenging this indictment if you had evidence that would exonerate you.
La, 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 la.
It just doesn't make sense. He's going to play a game with the justice system. I just think that it defies common sense to think otherwise at this point until we know more. Now, if we start getting evidence out there and, this trial starts and we're like, wait a minute, this isn't adding up. But yeah, I mean, he couldn't wait to get back to Idaho. You know what? Actually, I've got something else to play for you guys, but I've got to go grab my phone. So let me go grab my phone and I will be RB. I'm going to grab some coffee as well. So if you guys want to grab a little bit of coffee, use the restroom here. We will talk a little bit more in just a second. So let me just go grab some coffee and I'll be right back. We'll go to our video player. How about that? How about that? Cash me, motherfucking outside. How about that? Now I'm just rambling. Hold on. Got to get this up. Be right back. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
All right. Oh my God, it sounds like the Cosby Show music. like I'm watching the Cosby Show. All right, I am back. I've got hot coffee and my phone, and I sent over the videos, so let's pull those up. Thanks, you guys, for waiting. Appreciate ya. All right. Let me check my... Aw. I need to thank some people. I need to give some thank yous. Linda, thank you so much. She says, Jay, you are smart, thorough, and kind. Thank you. That's so sweet. Jeff H. You pulled out your guitar and you were jamming. You're funny. That was quite the jam, wasn't it? Oh, just FYI, Monday is a banking holiday, guys. Oh, Norma. Thank you so much, Norma, for coffee. I love it. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys really are. I'm glad that I did not stop doing this when... Yes, all the tips like that come across anything other than YouTube, you get 100%. Yeah. So like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, it's 100%. And also through the tipping of Streamlabs, that also goes through PayPal as well. And you get 100% of it. And it's just like, I think that it's just easier for people to use the package that YouTube provides like I did, you know? But until that package was taken away and they're like, fuck you, we don't know, you know, if you're going to get it back and get paid for ads, you know, it's kind of like, it's nice that there's another option out there, right? So I appreciate you guys for going out of your ways. Combat Vet, thank you. That is so nice. Combat Vet, did you join the Patreon as well? Is that you in the Patreon? Because I noticed the profile picture, but I wasn't sure with the name. Let me know if that is you. All right, so here's a couple videos from the Pennsylvania. This is the Pennsylvania press conference. I've just got a couple clips. Here's the first one.
I was at the scene, and I have to say that...
I thought, is it playing? I'm going to do that a different way. Let's close this out. I have no control. When I do that, I have no control over it. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Because if I add a video to the stream like that, I can't pause it. So I have to manually add it. Not that you guys give a shit, but sometimes I have to talk out loud to make it work. All right. Here is the first clip from the PA press conference after Bryan's arrest. Okay, so here's the first one. And this is the FBI right here.
I was at the scene, and I have to say that Major Paris and Captain Norm Kramer did an outstanding job in coordinating the efforts, not only of the numerous Pennsylvania State police troopers there, but officers from other jurisdictions and disciplines within those jurisdictions to make this a very smooth, highly competent professional operation. It is a quirk, apparently. It's not in the norm of the states I'm familiar with that Idaho does not release their probable cause affidavit in support of their arrest warrant until after their defendant is returned to that state. But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause, I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho was to need to know what was in those documents.
Thank you, Jeff Rowe. I got your Cash App. Thank you so much. You guys are so generous and sweet and kind. He's very sweaty. He's very sweaty. Dude, I think this was major, right? Look at his face. This was a major situation. I feel like The emotions in this case are so deep from experienced investigators that they seem shook. It really makes me wonder, like, what more do they know? What did they really uncover? What did they really see? Was it something really gruesome? Because he really looks shook at what transpired here. And then we're going to listen to it. Let's listen to this again.
I was at the scene, and I have to say...
He was at the scene. I mean, God knows. They walked in supposedly to Bryan in the kitchen in his underwear or some shit. But I just feel like there's something more here that these experienced FBI agents are... I mean, they're visibly shook. This cannot be faked. This is sweat. This is anxiety. This is something serious. I mean, not that for a quadruple murder isn't serious, but, you know, it's like, okay, there was a quadruple murder in Idaho. We got our guy. Why the stress? This is PA. This is the day that Kohberger went to court and was in Pennsylvania.
I was at the scene, and I have to say that Major Paris and Captain Norm Kramer did an outstanding job in coordinating the efforts, not only of the numerous Pennsylvania State police troopers there, but officers from other jurisdictions and disciplines within those jurisdictions.
Officers from other jurisdictions and disciplines in those other jurisdictions.
To make this a very smooth, highly competent professional operation. It is a quirk, apparently. It's not in the norm of the states I'm familiar with that Idaho does not release their probable cause affidavit in support of their arrest warrant until after their defendant is returned to that state. But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause, I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho was to need to know what was in those documents.
He wanted to know what was in there. So here's another interesting one from that same presser. And I think this is like a local, maybe this, oh no, I think this is the county sheriff. So Monroe County, I think it is. Monroe County, PA. Here's this guy. Now, listen to this one.
Sealed when he arrived in Idaho?
I don't want to speak out of my lane. When I watched the press conference on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I was alerted to the fact that, according to Idaho state law, that the affidavits have to be served to him once he's extradited back before they could be unsealed.
Did he say that anyone else been arrested?
Ongoing investigation.
Has a motive been determined?
I can't comment on that either. I apologize.
Who transports him, sir? Does Pennsylvania State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department?
He's presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County.
Oh, okay. I noticed this little slip. What happened in Montgomery County? We need to look into that. Is something unsolved or something going on in Montgomery County that he did this Freudian slip? I'm not sure.
Monroe County.
Was Montgomery County involved?
Presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County Sheriff. And the logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know yet.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there actually was?
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
50? Tactical on scene 50? Dude, this tells me that this motherfucker was more dangerous than we even know. 50 at his house. 50? 50? Like, what? I was shocked.
What?
50. He's nervous as hell, too. Watch.
The logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know yet.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
Were you afraid he was going to get tipped off before you got him?
I would say overall about this entire operation, and the credit goes, this is a part that the state police played humbly. You look at Moscow Police Department, 38 sworn, 19,000 leads, the video evidence that they had to develop in order to put that out, all public source information. But when you talk about the service of a high-risk warrant for someone who's committed or alleged to have committed 4 homicides, there's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical...
A high-risk warrant, there's nothing routine about that. They had 50 law enforcement officers at Bryan Kohberger's house to arrest him. That's frightening.
4 homicides. There's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical steps that were taken were in conjunction with the best efforts of the authorities, local, state, and federal, both in Idaho and here, to ensure that we could do it safely and to ensure that we could get him into custody and that those service or the search warrants could occur.
Sir, can we ask you a question of the first assistant district attorney?
He's dripping sweat. So either it's hot as hell in there or these guys are so nervous. I mean, you remember Chief Fry, his voice was shaky. Everyone was shook when talking about this murder.
Sealed when he arrived in Idaho?
I don't want to speak out of my lane. When I watched the press conference on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I was alerted to the fact that according to Idaho state law that the affidavits have to be served to him once he's extradited back.
So, yeah, he wanted to get back there to find out what LE had to have him arrested, and he had to go back to Idaho to get that information.
Before they could be unsealed.
Has anyone else been arrested?
Ongoing investigation.
Has anyone else been arrested? Ongoing investigation.
I can't comment on that either. I apologize. I can't comment on that.
Wait, what was her question?
Ongoing investigation.
Has a motive been determined?
A motive.
I can't comment on that either. I apologize.
Who transports him, sir? Does Pennsylvania State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department?
He's presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County Sheriff, and the logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know yet.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there actually was?
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
Were you afraid he was going to get tipped off before you got him?
I would say overall about this entire operation, and the credit goes, this is a part that the state police played humbly. You look at Moscow Police Department, 38 sworn, 19,000 leads, the video evidence that they had to develop in order to put that out, all public source information. But when you talk about the service of a high-risk warrant for someone who's committed or alleged to have committed 4 homicides, there's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical steps that were taken were in conjunction with the best efforts of the authorities, local, state, and federal, both in Idaho and here, to ensure that we could do it safely and to ensure that we could get him into custody and that those service or the search warrants could occur.
Sir, can we ask you a question of the first assistant district attorney?
So, yeah, you guys can watch that full press conference. It is still up on YouTube. My husband just texted me. He said, can you see what's going on the Skyway? He's in a traffic jam, but it looks like there's some construction. But live look at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge down here. This connects the peninsula that I live on with Bradenton. So you go over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. This is actually the bridge that collapsed, and you can see to the right in the water. That is part of the old bridge, and then they also have bumpers out there now. But I went on the live cam to see if there was backup, but there's not. I guess I'm built in traffic and weather and news. Because my kids don't need Google. My mother knows everything. Oh, it did? It was a concrete truck? Holy smokes. What's wrong, So Fucking Cool? Why is your heart breaking? Yeah, it's pretty neat that you can watch it, isn't it? And this is what I'm saying, like, you can't go anywhere anymore without being seen. And that's just the God's honest truth. Like, you drive from point A to point B, you're on a camera somewhere. You just can't go nowhere without it. I mean, I am a full service YouTuber. J is for traffic. J is for weather and traffic. That's funny. Hey, why not? Why not?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Yeah, and that's without phones. There's cameras like this at every exit that you go on. So, like, you can't go from one exit to the other without being seen. And then that's taken into consideration, you know, down here, especially with the tolls. Here, let's see what this is. Same one. Florida webcams. Let's see. I like doing shit like this. The Key West butterfly thing. Let's see what that is. Butterfly cam. I mean, you can watch cams on anything, guys. Look at this. You go to the butterfly garden in Key West, you're going to be on camera. You can't do shit without being videoed. You can't go anywhere. I mean, you go to a fucking butterfly garden and you're on video. Black Eagle, how are you? Can't go parking in the old school parking lot like the good old days. Nope. Because you're always on camera. Look, Stacy and her kids were at the butterfly garden today. It makes you want to be there. Come on, Potato. Let's go to the butterfly garden in Key West. But I mean, it's in all reality, you can't do anything without being on a camera somewhere. And that's not even taking into consideration people's, you know, doorbell cameras. Look at here, we've got Port Everglades. This is down by the Everglades, where the swamp is. But here we go. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere, you guys. You're not going to get away with shit that Ted Bundy got away with, like he did, going state to state. Like that FBI profiler said yesterday, there's license plate readers. There's, so many things that you're picked up on. It's not even funny. We do too, Potato. You can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere without it. I personally think the live cams are cool. But, you forget that they're literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. Pretty neat, though. Oh, shit. Trojan horse? Fuck off. What is that? Oh, I hate that. Ah. All right. There are cameras everywhere, yet people can still get away because the picture is grainy. Maybe, but they have scanners now. They have like, traffic, like license plate scanners. I spy with my little eye cam. You bought a inexpensive phone case that won't allow your phone to be tracked by anyone? How does that work? The Siuslaw Bridge, S-I-U-S? S-I-U-S Bridge. Where's that? S-I-U-S Law? Where's that? Florence? Oh, this is Oregon. Oh my gosh, how pretty. Is this where you live, Flo? I'm so jealous. Let's look at this, guys. Check this out. This is beautiful, Flo. Are you kidding me? We're all coming to Flo's place. Hold on. We're all coming your way, Flo. And if that's your boat, we're going out on your boat. I'm just kidding. That is so pretty. What's the one on 95? What are you talking about? Look how pretty. Orchard Point Marina. It is so beautiful out there. Let's see if there's a different Harbor Vista. Let's look at Harbor Vista. It's trying to load. There it is. Beautiful. Gosh, we have so many beautiful places here in our country that I have not seen. I would love to go out west and see it, but I'm scared. No, I'm just kidding. I thought you sold your place. Are you still there? Or did you just get a different place? I mean, this is gorgeous. Week and crab and salmon are running. Nice. It is really pretty out there. Utah is really pretty too. Well, let's see, Mary, if there's any live cams in Moscow. Moscow, Idaho. Live cam. Well, we know that the grub truck is a cam that goes. Let's see. Weatherbug. US 95 unavailable. Look. Right at the Nom Nom. They have live cams. Yo. Check it out. There's the Nom Nom. And then this is at 95 and Palouse River Drive. Holy shit, you guys. They've got cameras everywhere. SH. Look at the car. What a coinky dink. It's a white car. SH8 and Pullman Road, I guess, Line Street. Oh, wow, Mike. That's crazy. Uniontown, that one's down. Sherrod Road, that one's down. All these are down. Why? Look at all these cameras they have, and they're all down. Why are they all down? Let's go back and see if there's any other. I know, the fucking white car. I'm like, I cannot. They have 30 cameras, though. All right, webcams around Moscow. Let's see what this one is. Oh, yeah. Look. All kinds of them. The airport. They've got Warbonnet Drive. Oh, dude, he's cold busted. Whether he used other cars or not, dude, if he was driving around here, they got him. This is insane. This is 6th Street in Moscow. There's the Jimmy John's. This is Jackson and 6th. The Monarch Motel's right there, and then Jimmy John's is on the other side of the road. We are definitely watched. Oh, Mike, was that scary? I don't know if I'd want to go on that on a motorcycle. Oof. Yep, I agree with Potato on this one. This is crystal clear. You guys want to talk about grainy? This shit ain't grainy. This isn't grainy at all. Not at all. Look at these views, guys. The whole intersection. Troy Road, SH8, and Main Street. Whether you're on a bike, whether you're in a car, whether you're on foot, they're going to see you. So you have to remember, too, that these cops had to go through all of this footage. All these investigators, not cops, but these investigators had to go through and watch all of this stuff. It takes time. You know, it takes time. Right. I think it goes off when it's triggered. Right. It's triggered by motion. Yeah, I think they knew the whole time, too. They just had to get all of their ducks in a row. There's the storage place. This is Palouse River Drive. Smooth trucking. What are you talking about? 41 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago. Oh, it's up to date because it's triggered. Yeah, it's triggered by motion. So they definitely would have the footage in between too, smooth trucking. Don't think they wouldn't. They're not just going to have this. There is a reel that's recording everything. Trust me. Trust me. With all these cameras, they're not just letting that footage just... I don't believe that. Here's idaho.gov cameras. They got them all over the place, you guys. You should know that, smooth trucking, if you're a trucker. If you's a trucker. Pretty sure law enforcement can get their mitts on a reel of this footage if they're investigating a crime. Pretty sure of that. But wishful thinking to think that, you know, you can pull one over on the FBI. But yeah, these are all over Idaho. So anywhere you drive in Idaho, you're probably going to be caught on these cameras. And there's all different angles. There's red light cameras. I mean, you don't have to just be on a freeway. All of your intersections have red light cameras these days, pretty much. Really pretty out there, though, I must say myself. So, all right, guys, I think we've rambled long enough. Whether you agree or disagree, I appreciate you guys being here and hearing me out. Yeah, that's a good question for Mike. Mike, would they just save these screenshots or would they have a whole reel? I don't think that they just have screenshots, trucking. But trucking, you better keep in mind, they can see you. Just kidding. You know, I'm just kidding. Smooth operator. Hey, Ann Johns. Come west, Jay. Oh, I don't know. I will. I'll think about it. Constant but digitized, so it wouldn't be as clear. Gotcha. Jessica, thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Let me make sure I don't have anybody else to thank. Jeff H. says, coffee's on me. Thank you so much. I didn't see your message before. And let me check my PayPal. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Tyler, thank you for your PayPal. You guys are awesome. I'm not coming. No one's coming at you. No one's coming at you, smooth operator. It's clear they can track a vehicle across the country. I mean, think about the satellites we have, guys. Think about the satellites. Screw these cameras. You can track someone in real time via satellite. Gone are the days of being private. Gone are the days of having privacy when you're out in public. Don't you remember, you guys? It's so funny. We were all up in arms after 9/11 when George Bush was like, you know, talking about wiretapping and all of this Homeland Security stuff. Oh my God, we don't want our liberties taken away. Us Americans, we deserve our privacy. Little did we know, we haven't had privacy in ages. Think about it. J. Edgar Hoover was wiretapping people in the 60s. That was nothing new, but they made us believe it was something new and it wasn't. And got us all up in arms, and then we ended up being monitored by cameras anyway. They were like, oh, we don't want to be like communist country. Come on now. Britt, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Then they can read your text message via satellite. I think they can read anything they want to read. If they have a reason to get into this, they will. If they have a reason to get into this, they will. If there's a reason. Nothing is private. Nothing's protected. We're in an electronic age, and you don't have anonymity. You don't. Did you guys see? Oh, wait. We've got to talk about this. We've got to. We have got to talk about this. Forgot. Millions of Americans' personal data exposed in global attack. Have you guys heard this? Have you heard this? Well, here we go. Let's take a listen. Governments and universities were the first targets. I don't know what's up with this guy. After this ad, we'll play it. But there was a major cybersecurity attack. And it makes me think back to John McAfee said, you guys are fucked. These antivirus programs don't work. The Russians, the Chinese, they're blaming it on all of them. It's probably our own doing it to us. Okay, here we go. Take a listen to this.
Wide hacking attack affecting some federal and state government agencies and even major universities. Officials say the attacks amount to cyber extortion, where the criminals are demanding ransom payment to return the data they stole. Senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge has the story.
Officials believe a Russia-based cyber criminal gang known as KLOP is likely behind the breach. Since last month, the extortion group gained access to sensitive and personal information through a file-sharing app called MoveIt.
This MoveIt file transfer app is widely used.
I like to move it.
It makes securing data so convenient. It makes it easy to move data in a way that's encrypted.
Some American targets include the Energy Department, plus Johns Hopkins affiliated hospitals in Maryland and Florida, Georgia's statewide university system, the Minnesota Department of Education. And overseas, Shell and British Airways were hit. Bob Gorley is the former chief technology officer for the Defense Intelligence Agency.
what stands out in this attack?
The adversaries have a chance to get 2 bites from the same apple, meaning first, they can put ransomware on your computer and say, you can never use your data again unless you pay us money. But meanwhile, they have a copy of your data. So the next request comes.
In this message, believed to be from the cyber criminals, the group warns that if a ransom is not paid, after 7 days, all your data will start to be published, sometimes on the dark web, where foreign adversaries are looking to leverage the data.
They've started releasing some of the data that was stolen as part of their work to extort these companies.
Ann Neuberger is the White House Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology.
We strongly encourage anyone who is a user of this software to, of course, patch, lock down their systems.
U.S. government officials told reporters
Somebody
there is
needs to start a restaurant and just name all the hamburgers like Neuberger, Kohberger, Crete Burglar.
evidence. The hackers are coordinating directly with the Russian government, and so far they said there's no evidence. U.S. military and intelligence agencies have been impacted. Adriana.
Speaking of U.S. intelligence, Catherine, there's new news now about the airmen accused of leaking defense intelligence. What can you tell us?
Well, that's right. That Massachusetts Air National Guardsman has been officially indicted by a grand jury on 6 counts of the willful retention and transmission of classified
information. Look at this. See this dude in his basketball shorts?
Including the Russia.
I just want to say something. All right. We've got a Pentagon leak suspect indicted. Okay. You're looking at, this is a live look of this Pentagon leaker, Jack Teixeira. But Bryan Kohberger had 50? 50? Interesting.
Conflict and a plot to target U.S. forces overseas. Jack Teixeira was arrested.
And why do we see like video of Jack Teixeira being arrested, but we can't see video of the Kohberger raid? Why? Why? I want to know why. Like, why do we get to see this? Because it's convincing us that it happened?
An FBI SWAT team earlier this year and accused of posting these documents, some of them top secret, on a social media platform.
Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we're being cyber attacked left and right. Left and right. And they're saying it's Russia. And then they said there was one not too long ago and it was Red China. And it's just the same shit. Same shit. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I wasn't sure if you heard about it. A drill. What do you mean they? $50 in an average police pursuit for a stolen car? Really? 50? Hushburger is a hamburger and a donut. I don't think it's a cover up at all. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. It could be. Anything's possible. All right, guys, I am out of here. It is almost noon. Enjoy your weekend. I'll probably be live on Sunday. I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going out food trucking and going to hang out in the sunshine and have a good time. So I'll probably be live on Sunday. If you guys are around, I will see you then. Oh my God, Wendy's app. Someone wanted to buy a Frosty and dip their fries in it on you. I hope you guys all have a great weekend as well. Thanks for tuning in and thank you for sharing your opinions and being respectful. I hope that you learned something new. And make sure you click that like on your way out. It is a free way to support your favorite creators and get them in that algorithm. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Bye, Combat Vet. Thank you so much for joining Patreon, by the way.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
You just fall out.
Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about cats. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
Bye, Jennifer.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.